Hello everybody, it's the Alco Diesel Guy, and it's time for the annual Alco Diesel Guy HO Scale Buying Guide. Yay! Even though supply chain issues are making getting things like trains and especially the electronic end of the hobby difficult to get a hold of, I still found some great deals. It's this sort of really old school crane on flat car. We're talking from like the 1800s. And it's a nice little addition to anyone's layout. 29 bucks, holds the rails beautifully. I have one of these, as you've probably seen it roll around my layout occasionally. And so really, you can't go wrong for the price. The quality is pretty good. And yeah, I'm not crazy about Bachmann, but this does the trick and does it quite well. And yes, it will be backable around all of your tight curves, as I can prove. Next, we have this Rapido Rs11. And again, that's DCC and sound equipped for $249. Excellent deal for that particular unit. It does lack the steam generators, equipment, etc., but still it has all the quirks. Very high quality model, and again, $249 might sound steep, but it's worth it for this model, as these normally sell for about $100 more. Or if you or the person you're buying for is a Conrail buff, you can get the exact same locomotive in Conrail paint. This is a nice little conversation piece, as these engines, as far as I know, only briefly wore this paint scheme while on Conrail before being retired. A conversation piece for your layout and or for your fleet. Adds a little bit more color to everything. Overall, just a nice little locomotive, and definitely a good idea for a Christmas gift in my humble opinion. And again, the unit features all of Rapido's crazy sound effects as well as lighting effects, so really you're getting a lot for your money in my opinion with this. It's got a pretty famous reputation for being sort of the first successful electric locomotive in the United States for high-speed service. It had a long life running all the way into the 1980s with Amtrak. This particular version is from Broadway Limited, and $259 is a steal for that model with the detailing and quality it possesses. Or if you're on more of a budget and or just don't want to spend more money but still want a Gg1 with sound, then I can direct you to this Bachmann Gg1, in this case done in the Amtrak paint scheme. Again, these are kind of falling behind the times. They have the Soundtrack sound system, not the fancy custom system that Broadway Limited makes. They work okay, they do their job for what they are, just don't expect them to run like a Broadway Limited engine and don't expect the same longevity, but still for $129.99 DCC and sound equipped, you can't go wrong. Next we have this box cab locomotive. These were fairly more common in the US during the steam era when the tunnels started to go up, such as the Moffat Tunnel. Obviously, steam was impractical for such a long tunnel that was a few miles long. No matter how good the ventilation system you'd have, it would never work, as well as running through the tunnels of New York City. Of course, that was a third rail territory, so the same concept was employed there, but with the third rail. Again, a decent price for that, $299 down from $319. High quality model, nice conversation piece for the layout or for the collection, or if the person you're buying for happens to be an electric locomotive buff, in particular from the US. Next, we have this Bachmann 460 Baldwin locomotive, DCC ready. $139, a bit on the steep side for what it is, but it's down from $179, so you're getting something resembling value for money. Good, a nice little steamer to pull things around, not the greatest quality, but again, the price kind of sells this one for itself. Don't expect miracles from it, but you'll still get enjoyment out of it, and well, that's what this whole hobby is about anyway, isn't it? Staying with the theme of steam and indeed Bachmann, here's another sound value equipped steam locomotive. In this case, it's a 260 Alco steam locomotive. Again, this is equipped with the older Soundtrack system. These are again going by the wayside as Bachmann's is starting to phase in the new TCS systems. That's one of the reasons why you're going to see more and more of these wind up as excellent sort of deals to get DCC and sound. Again, as long as you're willing to accept the fact that the sound system's outdated and the fact that the quality is not the last word, to put it mildly, you'll get enjoyment out of it, and again, that's what this hobby is for. For more and more of these engines to go on sale as Bachmann switches its line over to TCS from Soundtracks. And next, speaking of sound value again, I've got a GP7 here, DCC and sound equipped sound value, only $89 down from $134. Another great bargain, especially if you've got a new model railroad trying to build their fleet up, much like the steam engines. But this can, again, the steam engines can be a little bit more intimidating for new model railroaders because they have more moving parts. This particular engine is very simple in terms of its mechanics. Yes, again, it's not the last word, but DCC and sound equipped, even with the old Soundtrack system, you can't go wrong for the price. And next, again, continuing this theme, as I mentioned, another DCC and sound-equipped locomotive from Bachmann's, again under their Sound Value Edition, and this one is a GP30. You really can't go wrong with the price on these units, so it's hard to argue too much. I haven't personally tested this one. I'd be interested to know if this actually has the turbo sound, as these were the first engine that EMD produced in real life with a turbocharger. I may have to get one of these just to check my curiosity out. But anyway, $100 is a steal for this particular locomotive. Yes, the sound system's outdated, but heck, you really can't go wrong for what you're getting here in terms of the price. Just don't expect it to last forever. And now something a little different. We have two articulated Broadway limited passenger cars. This is from the Hiawatha sets that they offer. Many don't know that the Hiawatha actual coach sets that ran on that particular line between Chicago and Milwaukee actually were articulated in the middle. This is to say they could take tight turns. This is also for the streamlining as well. Very interesting little piece here from $104 down to $59. Again, that's two cars joined together in the center, articulated for streamlining and for effect. Very nice little gift idea. Good addition to any railroad layout, especially if you've got a Milwaukee Road and or Chicago area model railroader in the actual Christmas list. Next, something different, a new arrival from MTH, which is already on sale. MTH has gone through a bit of a rough patch, as we know. The owner decided he wanted to get out of the business, then decided to stay back in the business, and subsequently apparently sold half the divisions off to Scale Trains Inc., I believe the company is, which now handles the HO scale and S scale line. At any rate, this is one of their new models, the Dash 9 engine with the Proto sound system. Again, TCS's own Proto sound, which I was once told would eventually replace all DCC. New arrival, only $149. Again, that's a steal for an engine of this quality, especially down from $239 with DCC and sound on board. Definitely worth a look. Next, I have something for the, or some things I should say, for the more do-it-yourself model railroaders. Two Digitrax type decoders. The first one is for a 567 diesel locomotive, and the one coming up right here is going to be for an Alco 244 type locomotive, which would be an RS3, FA, etc. Price is about $99, a bit on the steep side, but again, Soundtrax is kind of starting to fall out of favor as TCS and ESU are kind of really duking it out right now for the top spot, and a lot of manufacturers, including Bachmann, now apparently have stopped using them. And one last item is I couldn't resist being patriotic from Train World, and that's going to be this Honoring Our Veterans paint-schemed SD60E, again by Atheron. Price is down to $219 from $288. Still not the greatest deal, maybe necessarily for this model. Atheron's quality has come up as of late after being in sort of a downtrot for the longest time, or at least so I've been told. So it's something to keep your eyes out, especially if you're patriotic. And now let's get to those who just starting out in model railroading, or perhaps if you just need a train to go around the Christmas tree. As I say, every tree deserves a train. We have this Bachmann Trains Thoroughbred ready to run DCC electric train set from Amazon in this case. This is the best price I could find for it, $94, and it is in fact a loop track, which means you will actually have a straight section on either side of your layout, not just a continuous ring of turn tracks as the old school basic train sets were. Again, there are better train sets and train equipment out there, but the fact is this will do the trick if you're just looking for a basic set around the tree. And if you're looking for something less basic for a starter set and or you want to try DCC out yourself, but don't feel like dusting out the old equipment and putting decoders in them, this is a great way to start. This is the Bachmann Digital Commander set. Yes, it's not on sale. It's going for a whopping $311.37, but it is more than worth it in my opinion. You get two locomotives and a DCC system. Again, DCC equipped locomotives, and you can easily expand it with more easy track. Or if you happen to own some Bachmann Easy Track sets and or Easy Track in general, you can just click it right onto the set and expand it. The Easy Command system included will just click right into it. You can even hook up a standard Bachmann speed controller to this one and run one of your analog locomotives alongside the two DCC equipped engines. So it's a really great deal in that regard. Very, very excellent for starting in DCC and to give it a try. Again, $312 from Amazon.com. Now, I said it was done with items coming from trainworld.com, but actually I lied. Here's one last item because I could not find it anywhere else, or anything resembling it anywhere else. It's a Digitrax Zephyr DCC control system, the ZEP edition, featuring the full color display screen. This is really the only deal or something resembling a deal I could find on a fully functional DCC system that was not limited to single addressing. It'll support, again, because it's a Digitrax system, all the LocoNet devices. So it's perfect if you happen to have someone on your list that just had their Digitrax system go out on them. This will plug right into it. Or if you have someone interested in converting to Digitrax, this is a great starting point. Now, if you're looking for a very basic DCC system at a good price that can only do single addressing and can't adjust the CVs and willing to accept all those things, I should say, this is a pretty good place to start. This is the Bachmann Easy Command system, digital commander control system. It's been around for quite some time right now. I think this is like 12 or 13 years old. It still does the job if that's all you're looking to do is very basic programming and single-digit addressing with the exception of address 10. You can also hook up analog locomotives to it via the cable that's included, and a standard Bachmann speed controller. This will actually allow you to run one analog locomotive right alongside the two DCC equipped engines. So it really is a great way if you're an old school analog model railroader with old school analog equipment that you might be hesitant to convert, or you just can't convert because of the specifics of that particular item, is you can just basically hook the controller up again and just run it alongside your DCC engines and kind of slowly but surely phase into the new world of DCC. Again, $119.99 from ModelTrainStuff.com. Worthwhile taking a look at if you just want to get a basic DCC system going there. And that's going to do it for this year's buying guide. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I've helped some people find some deals. I know the supply chain issues with getting things in and out of the country are becoming huge issues this year in terms of keeping prices down. That and the microchip shortage, which has definitely affected the DCC equipment, in particular the DCC systems themselves. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, as that will definitely help me a lot, and I really appreciate it. If not, feel free to dislike it if you didn't enjoy the video. Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, etc. And as always, keep the metal side down.